Hello, and welcome to the Sci-Fi Christian. I am Ben DeBono here with another video game review for you of a game called The Swapper, which I picked up in Steam's summer sale, which unfortunately for all of us gamers, but fortunately for our bank accounts, has just ended a couple days ago at this point. Steam summer sale is great because you get a lot of cheap games, but it's also great because you find stuff that you wouldn't normally. For me, I'll look at just about every game they put up on sale, kind of check it out and read about it or whatever, because you never know if you're going to find something that you hadn't heard of before that's actually really your cup of tea. And such was the case with The Swapper. I had never heard of this game. I guess it's been out for a couple months or whatever. I think it came out at the end of May is what I was reading. First game from Facepalm Studios, so independent developer. And so I picked this game up because it was super cheap or whatever during the summer sale, $3-4. And I was blown away by this. I knew right away when I looked at it, and I'll describe what the game's about and everything in just a second, but I knew right away it was going to be my type of game in terms of genre and everything. But I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as good and engaging as it turned out to be. This game is just phenomenal. Okay, so what is The Swapper, if you, like me, have not heard of it? The basic premise is, and this is a game you kind of want to go into not knowing a ton about, so I'll just lay out the basics for you. The basic premise is you're in a space station and you have a gun. But much like the portal gun, it's not a gun, it doesn't fire bullets. What it does is it allows you to make up to 4 clones of yourself, okay? So you make a clone and then the clone mimics your actions exactly. So you walk forward, the clones walk forward, you walk back, the clones walk back. Yeah, you get the idea. And then the other function your gun has is you can fire your consciousness into one of the other clones. So you can move from the person you're controlling into one of the other clone bodies and kind of transfer of consciousness type thing. Okay, so that obviously is a setup for good gameplay, good puzzle game, and it is that. The other part of this game that you need to know about is that it's obviously set on a spaceship, we got clones. It's a great sci-fi game, as you might have figured, but the atmosphere, the storytelling with its minimalist style is just out of this world good. The soundtrack to this game, the art in this game, the way that things slowly unfold and you figure out what exactly is going on this space station where you find yourself, are all just expertly done. You don't really want to know more about it than that. Maybe go watch a gameplay trailer or whatever if you want to get a better idea of what those look like precisely, but you really don't want to know a ton more than that because the joy in this game is just letting it unfold for you. Though I do think it's a game where the atmosphere and story are so rich, the replay value, even with knowing what the puzzles are and what the solutions are, the replay value is going to be very, very high for this one. I'm looking forward to going and playing it through it again just for the atmosphere, just for the storytelling, the style, and all of that. Okay, so you have those elements. Now, when I mention storytelling, I want to be clear. We're not talking storytelling in the way that something like The Last of Us tackled storytelling. The storytelling in this game is really minimalist style. You find out what's going on through reading log files and through brief conversations that you hear and through tiny bits and pieces. So no cutscenes really to speak of. There's a few moments where the game will kind of pause and you won't be able to really move to another area and you have to watch an event, but it's not really a cutscene type thing. You find out simply through exploring the space station and interacting with things and seeing what you discover. I don't want to say more than that because I think you'll enjoy it the most if you just kind of go in expecting that. But I really got to hand it to the studio. I mean, I don't know if the people involved have made other games, but for a studio's first game, they knocked this out of the park. Great, great time. Okay, so a couple of complaints. A couple of, well, minor nitpicks. Nothing too major. The first is the length. And I get, you got to give indie studios a lot of leeway. They don't have the resources generally to make a 20-hour game. But the game's about 3 hours long. So, in terms of value, it still is only, in my case, it cost $5 or whatever it was during the Steam sale. Probably off sale, it's 10 to 15 or whatever. But Steam has sales all the time, so you can probably eventually pick it up for $5, $10. Totally worth it at that price. So at that price, and given the fact that it's an indie developer, not a huge deal. But it felt like it was over way too soon. I wanted a lot more than was in here. And I didn't feel like they'd even begun to exhaust the possibilities for the story or the gameplay or anything like that. So, maybe if they would have made more, the puzzles would have gotten super repetitive and whatever, and I'd be saying this game was too long. So that's a possibility. But as it stands now, I was really left wanting more, and not just in a, oh, that was great. I'd love if they make a sequel sort of way, but in a way where it's like, this game just needed another hour or two. It needed a few more tough puzzles. And that brings me to the second point, is that the puzzles, well, the game doesn't depend on them, and they are good. They're good puzzles. They're also fairly easy right up until the end, in which case they kind of go from you can figure it out in a handful of, 3, 4, 5 minutes to, holy crap, I have no clue what to do. And they're like extremely difficult. So there's not a ton of middle ground. There's a little bit, but not a ton of middle ground. I felt all but 2 of the puzzles to be easy to moderate. And then those 2 were super hard, so not a lot of middle ground. So it would have been nice if, and again, this goes to make the game a little bit longer, increase a little bit more gradually up to those extremely hard puzzles and maybe throw in a few more of them so that people like me can just be frustrated all that much more or whatever. So those are really my 2 complaints. Not huge deals. I mean, I'm going to give this game 4.5 stars out of 5. You definitely should pick it up. If you enjoy sci-fi gaming, pick it up. If you want to support indie game publishers, pick it up. If you like a good minimalist style, pick it up. If you want an immersive experience, pick it up. If you like good soundtracks, pick it up. If you enjoy good artwork in a kind of 2D environment, pick it up. There's so many reasons to get this game and virtually none not to, unless you just hate puzzle games. That's really the only reason you should avoid this. Otherwise, this game is just out of this world good. You owe it to yourself to pick up a copy. If not now, wait till it's on sale and grab it then. But I loved it. I think you will love it too. The Swapper, 4 out of 5 star, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Highly, highly recommended. So that's all for now. I'm Bendy Bono, and this is the Sci-Fi Christian.